What's going on, everybody? I'm Howard Bender from Fantasy Alarm, and it's time now for your Week 11 Fantasy Baseball Stock Watch. Players are rising and falling in value each and every day, whether it's guys coming off of the injury list, guys going on the injury list, but the players who are active and playing right now are rising and falling in value, whether it's going to be off of your fantasy baseball waiver wire or as a buy low, sell high candidate with some fantasy baseball trades. So let's get to it right now and play a little 3 up, 3 down. We start with the fantasy baseball stock watch risers, and I go with Matt Vierling, third baseman and outfielder for the Detroit Tigers. Now, the multi-position eligibility is a huge, huge bonus. So that's something advantageous to you, especially if you find yourself in a little bit of a roster crunch. Right now, he's on a 7-game hit streak. He's batting .438 with 3 doubles, 4 home runs, and 9 RBI in that span. He's seeing full-time at-bats right now because Kerry Carpenter landed on the IL with a stress fracture in his back. So that's going to be an extended stay for Carpenter, which means that Vierling is going to continue to see opportunities. They use him at third. They use him in the outfield. They use him at DH. So he's 27 years old in his physical prime. Strike while the iron's hot. Ride the wave until it breaks. Whatever cliche you want to use, Matt Vierling definitely has some value right now. We go to the New York Mets, Mark Vientos, third baseman over there. With the roster shakeup that they just had, sending Brett Beatty down, the Mets are using Vientos as their regular third baseman right now. This is actually big because it's full-time at-bats. The lineup itself, what are you going to do? But full-time at-bats means a full-time opportunity to score some runs and do some work there. Right now, he's got 3 multi-hit games over his last 4. And right now, over his last 7, he's batting .333 with 2 home runs and 4 RBI. If you need help at the hot corner, you could do a lot worse than getting in with Mark Vientos. And then finally, my third riser here on the stock watch. It's actually a little bit more of a long-term play, and that's Noelvi Marte, third baseman for the Cincinnati Reds. Couple of hot corner guys here on the risers. And it's actually good because some people are dying right now with their third baseman. So Noelvi Marte is returning from an 80-game suspension. Now, he's not due back until June 27th or 28th. I can't remember what the actual date is, but we just found out that he is starting his rehab assignment on June 11th, which means that he's going to have a full 2 weeks to get his timing back. And let's face facts. When you're hitting in Cincinnati at Great American Small Park, you got to be paying attention to those players. So if you've got the roster space right now, grab Marte if he got dropped. It's going to take a little while till the end of the month, but should pay off real nicely. Now, as far as the guys who are dropping in value, let's talk about it. 3 down, fantasy baseball stock watch fallers. And I start with Christian Scott of the New York Mets. Now, it wasn't about the roster shakeup that they had to try and light a fire under this team. Christian Scott actually got sent down due to the Mets' schedule. Mets are going to be playing a 2-game series against the Philadelphia Phillies in London, and they've got a couple of off days before and after. Now, the Mets want to keep Christian Scott on his regular throwing schedule, so that's why he's in the minors right now. He's already at 63 innings pitched this year between AAA and the big leagues, and he's never thrown more than 86 innings in a given season. So if the Mets want to utilize him at all at the major league level, they're going to have to start limiting his work so that they don't, go full blown and ruin this kid's arm. So Christian Scott will be back later on. Stash him if you can. If not, you might as well drop him because he's probably not going to be back at least until, I don't know, maybe the All-Star break, maybe sometime afterwards. Next guy falling down the charts, Luis Matos, outfielder for the San Francisco Giants. Just 1 hit in his last 5 games, 23 at-bats. And this is not a good time to go ice cold if you're a San Francisco Giant, right? The Giants just got back Michael Conforto. Jorge Soler's locked in at the DH spot. So you're losing playing time because Elio Ramos hitting the ball real well. You've got Mike Yastrzemski still out there in the outfield. Austin Slater's likely to be back from the 7-day concussion IL. Brett Wisely is here. So Matos, if he doesn't heat up, he's going to end up seriously losing some at-bats, could end up getting sent down depending on what the Giants want to do. And then finally, my last faller here, Taylor Ward. Sorry, Taylor. I know you put this entire Angels offense onto your back. When Mike Trout went down, you were looking real sharp, but now you're batting 143 over your last, 7 games with 2 RBI, 1 run scored. It's also coming with a 35% strikeout rate. So we know you're pressing at the plate. We know that you're not getting good pitches to hit. You're still kind of swinging outside the zone a little bit too much, so you need to rein that in. Now, I'm not saying you drop Taylor Ward, but what I'm saying is if you can bench him right now, use somebody who's a little hotter at the moment. That's where you want to go, because Taylor Ward, he's just not going to get some pitches to hit until this whole lineup heats up. So it's going to limit his overall value. That's our fantasy baseball stock watch. I've got a full article over at fantasyalarm.com right now. Full stats, full details, more information about all 6 of these players. If you don't have a subscription, well, zap that QR code that you see right there on the screen, or go to fantasyalarm.com/win. Use the promo code Let's Go. We'll give you 50% off your first month. I'm Howard Bender from Fantasy Alarm. We'll catch you next time.